The day.
Hey guys, it's Alec, Torelli, and welcome to the hand of the day from the Live at the Bike high stakes 2550 cash game. I just finished a game here, and I wanted to review a hand from you from this session. We were playing the 7 deuce game. This is actually the second hand of 7 deuce that I played in this session. So pretty crazy, 2 big hands with 7 deuce. Both of them, I'm happy to point out, I think I made some mistakes, and both of them I think are great learning opportunities for you guys, and I wanted to share them with you on this channel. Totally humbling myself here, made a mistake in this hand, but I'm happy to share it with you, and I think there's a lot to learn. Let's get to it. I get dealt 7 deuce offsuit, and for those of you who don't know how the 7 deuce game works, if you win a hand with 7 deuce from any position in any situation, even if it's folded to you in the big blind, you win $100 from each player. So you automatically win $800 at a 2550 game, which is a decent amount of big blinds. You win like 40 big blinds just from winning the hand with 7 deuce. So pretty good incentive to play the hand, and basically it means that everyone's going to be playing the hand from any position because they have so much incentive just to raise pre-flop to 150 and win the pot and win an extra 800. So I get dealt 7 deuce early position. I open. I get a call from Josh to my left, and Tim on the I think on the button really looks like he's debating 3-betting pre-flop, which changed a little bit of my decision making throughout the hand. Sort of like threw me off a little bit. It clearly looks like he wants to 3-bet pre-flop. Then he opts to just call. So I think that changes some of the hands that he could have, and it sort of skews his hands towards stronger hands because it was debating 3-betting and then ended up calling. Most of the time, if you have a hand like complete trash, like King 5 suited or something, you're not gonna debate. You might 3-bet that hand, but you're not gonna like 3-bet and then decide to call with it. You're gonna either 3-bet or fold with it. So when he has a hand that's debating between 3-betting or calling, it means it's on the top end of the spectrum, which is generally a stronger hand. So that was sort of my read pre-flop, and I think we get another call and we go 4 ways to the flop. Flop comes great for me, 7-4-4. So actually, I'm favorite to have the best hand here, which is great, right? I have 7 deuce, so I'm favored to have the best hand, number one. But also, if I win the pot, I win an extra $800. So it gets checked to me. I make a standard C bet, folds around, and Tim calls on the button. The other guy folds, and we go heads up to the turn. Turn comes an offsuit ace. So at this point, I'm not absolutely loving my hand, right? When he calls the flop, I think it's not really a great spot for me, especially because he was debating 3-betting pre-flop and then called the flop. It means that most likely I'm behind on the flop. If I'm not behind on the flop, I'm definitely behind on the turn because his range of hands that he's calling with on the flop is something like pairs. And remember, he was debating 3-betting pre-flop, so his pairs are probably going to be bigger, like 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks. Those are definitely possible. Or something like ace queen. He was thinking about 3-betting pre-flop and then didn't 3-bet. So because of that, that sort of threw me off for how I was going to react on the turn. In general, he shouldn't be calling the flop with ace high with someone behind him when I lead into 4 people, especially because the 7's on the board. So even if I have 7 deuce, he doesn't have the best hand. So he should be folding ace high on the flop, but because he was debating 3-betting pre-flop, I thought maybe he had like a stronger ace high that could justify calling, or maybe he was just going to get a little sticky in the hand. He was on the button. So that sort of threw me off in this spot. And my pre-flop read led me to think that he could have a stronger hand on the turn, one that he wasn't going to fold to another bet. I understand here that this is a great spot to double barrel. I do have some outs if I'm called. I could hit a 7, of course, but more importantly than that, the ace helps my range more than it helps his range. So the ace is more likely to have hit me because I'm more likely to c-bet with ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, etc. than he is to call with those hands. So I should be betting this turn again to get him to fold something like 8s, 9s, 10s, or jacks and rep the ace. So I think that could be an arguable bet from my point of view, but at the same time, because of my read pre-flop, I was concerned that he had a decent amount of ace highs that he wouldn't otherwise have. So I opt to check, he checks behind, and the river comes an offsuit ace. So at this point, it's pretty damn unlikely that he has an ace. Why? Because, well, there's 2 aces on the board, so that eliminates the chance that he has an ace dramatically. But secondly, he probably would have bet the turn if he had an ace to get value if I have something like, you know, an overpair like 10s or something like that. So I think it's pretty unlikely he has an ace at this point, and it's also pretty unlikely that I have the best hand. So it's pretty likely he has something like 8s, 9s, or 10s. And on the river here, I was thinking for a few seconds here, and I was genuinely thinking about, you know, what number one, will he fold a hand like 8s, 9s, or 10s? And how much do I have to bet to get him to fold? So I thought about a lot of different options. I thought about betting small to sort of like make it look like I could be value betting 2 kings, 2 queens, which is, I totally would value bet those hands there, and it's totally reasonable to bet them. They're very likely to be the best hands. Go with a small bet sizing and try and get value, make it look like I'm value betting those hands. Or bet really big, like over bet and try and represent an ace. So I thought about all these things, and I sort of just didn't know enough about my opponent. I really didn't know if he was gonna fold, getting such a good price, and after I checked the turn, I just didn't know if he was gonna fold. And so I ended up checking the river, pretty much knowing that I don't have the best hand. But I think the mistake here in this hand is that I should have bet at least the turn or the river because of the fact that I had 7 deuce and because of the fact that I stand to win so much more money than the pot if I win the hand, right? So I win $800 extra. So it's basically like imagining the pot is $800 bigger. So I'm getting a much better price on my bluffs. So this gives me a ton of incentive to bluff. And if I'm ever gonna pick a hand that I'm gonna bluff with in this spot, 7 deuce is probably the best one to do it. And so for that reason, I think I should have either bet the turn or the river. I kind of presented arguments for both. I could do one or the other. But checking the river after I check the turn and he checks behind is sort of like conceding the pot. And it's pretty hard to win in this point unless he has something like 6s or 5s. So I don't really like that I was a little passive here. I think I should have been a little more aggressive. I'm kind of bummed out about this hand. I think this was one of the worst hands I played in the session, and it was a little bit frustrating to lose both hands that I played with 7 deuce when I had some good opportunities. Anyway, I hope you learned from it. Leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this hand and about the 7 deuce game if you enjoy it, how you would have played this hand. Give me some feedback. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you like this style of videos, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Help me grow the channel. Helps me produce more awesome content for you guys as well. That's it for the hand of the day. Hope you enjoyed it from Live at the Bike, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.